and I begged her to stop pushing me. She didn't. Sick and tired? Me three. Welcome to the Joy Podcast. Yo soy La Joy, and this podcast is my open diary of growth. So if you're somewhere between I'm healing and que pedo con mi vida, this is your space too. All my adulthood, I've struggled with my identity, addictions, family complications, ansiedad, and I want you to know all the chismecito caliente while I challenge myself to be better. Let's grow, cry, and laugh about it. It's like, why the fuck not? Let's talk about the struggle while climbing out the hole I dug myself in years ago. Si estás igual que yo, agárrate y vamos por algo más chingón. Today we're talking about limits, not the lines that draw borders, not even the kind that you speak out loud, but the ones that you don't hold. This isn't about cutting people off. This is about realizing what happens when you keep sabotaging yourself. I used to think limits were just that, a line, a simple no. But what I didn't understand was that saying no without consequence wasn't really setting a limit. For a very long time, I thought limits were rejection. And because of that, I kept bending them over and over again. When I was a kid, limits didn't feel like protection, they felt like control. No te vistas así, no te maquilles así, no hagas esto, no hagas lo otro. So I learned that limits were about how I looked, how I behaved, and even the space I took. At the same time, my mom did taught me something important. The kids, cuando yo iba al kinder, los niños eran bien cabrones y te alzaban la falda. My mom told me if that ever happened, I had the right to scream, ask for help, and defend myself. So I did knock out a couple of teeth when I was just a little kid. And that stuck with me, but in a weird way, because I grew up thinking that limits only mattered in extreme situations. That unless something was really, really bad, I should just adapt. As I got older, I thought being flexible meant being good, humble, easy to be around. I thought if I adjusted enough, people wouldn't leave. So whenever I said no, I didn't mean it.
Dude.
There was a low point in my life a couple of years ago. I wasn't working. My ex had just left, and I was going through some deep anxiety, so intense that just turning a doorknob was the most terrifying thing in the world. And my good friend Goretti was there for me. She fed me, she took care of me, she held me when I couldn't. And even after weeks of that, I put my ex above her.
Oh no.
Not with words. I literally just fucking left. But just before that, I do remember thinking, I do need help. But every action and word I spoke said otherwise. And she told me, and now I understand that. And you've probably heard something like this too. No se le puede ayudar a quien no quiere ayuda. And she just stopped. One day she just blocked me. She just blocked me. That was the first time somebody put that kind of limit on me. And it hurt. It hurt like a bitch. I cried. I cried like a fucking baby in my mom's arms. I did that part, but that limit, there was no yelling, no drama, just a fucking wall. And years later, I was on the other side. I was in her shoes. One of my longest friends was hitting rock bottom. I was trying to get out of my own hole, and being around her was just too fucking uncomfortable. I didn't know how to set limits with love. I was going through little anger management. I was really angry. I was very reactive, still working on that. And I really used honesty as a weapon. So I did say some things that were true, but cruel. I did apologize and I begged her to stop pushing me. She didn't. The breaking point was when I caught her lying. That just shifted something. Not rage, not ego. No, didn't hate her. It was just clarity. Now, just last year, the person who surprised me the most was la persona que dije, me va a mandar a la chingada. Because there was, as I said, I was still reactive y no me estaba yo comunicando de la mejor manera, pero empecé a poner límites con buenas palabras, porque yo no tenía ese vocabulario, eso me lo dio mi psicólogo. El, si no te suma, te resta. Y si tiene reparo, se comunica efectivamente con amor. So, me sorprendió muchísimo cuando mi mejor amiga Pilar tuvo ese entendimiento conmigo, al punto de que creo que ahora tenemos una amistad mucho más plena y me encanta saber que esa parte comunicativa y de amor y de yo poder siempre tener un plan B en caso de que las cosas no vayan como se hayan planeado, etcétera. Esos detallitos para mí han sido uno de los resultados más gratificantes de terapia con límites y ver que realmente sí se puede mantener una relación bonita, comunicativa. Este, quiero mucho Pili. So I got a little bit emotional in that part, and I forgot to mention the key differences between limits and boundaries. So, limits are those external information. Usually, they are not flexible and they are there to protect you, uh, like the speed limit, for example. And then boundaries are those that you either set to yourself or flexible enough to accept or not accept um, others' behaviors or what they bring into your life. So, what I understand is limits are external, boundaries are internal limits. And yes, to make it extra Claire, limits are information. They tell what you like, what you accept, and what you protect. Carry on. My boundaries now look like, and I'm still trying this, but stopping before reacting, talking to myself with love. Really, guys, I have no idea how much of a shit talker I am. And for now, no interaction of any kind with men because you guys suck. I used to think that being understanding meant being good, but really, it was just me avoiding conflict. Setting limits didn't turn me cold. Setting limits didn't turn me into a bitch. It turned me into someone reflective. And the truth is that no one really disappeared. They just lost fucking access. Limits didn't ruin my relationships. They showed me which ones were built on access and which ones were built out of respect. That changed everything. Hit that follow button, subscribe, please. If any of this resonated or stirred something, don't fix it tonight. Just notice it. And in my next episode, I do want to talk about responsibility. The moment you stop saying, oh, why me? And start asking yourself, what am I choosing now? But for now, act in love, especially with yourself. I need another kawama, and I think I'm gonna record this again. I don't know yet. Oh, she fell asleep. I'm really thirsty.